In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a flat pattern that takes a square, converts it to a circular. This is kind of a quick and dirty method, and really it's going to be done in about 5 steps. Step 1, I'm going to get the tools. Step 2, step 5, we're going to draw the square base. So here are the tools that you need. You need a pencil, a straight edge and with a ruler on it, a right angle, a compass, and a knife. Step 2 is to draw the shape. So one end is going to be round, and the other end is going to be square. And I'm just superimposing them here like it's a view down the top. We're just sketching it. It doesn't have to be accurate. And then the other view, it's going to be more of a cone shape. So for my project, this diameter here is 60 millimeters. The length of each side of the square is 69 millimeters. And the height of the cone is going to be 55 millimeters. In our case, we need to get 4 69 length sides. And the way I look at it is this is a cone with that square is on the inside of the larger diameter circle of the cone. So the radius of this is right to here. And we can look at, we'll call this side A, this side B, and this side R. If we use Pythagorean's theorem, we go to step 3, calculations. So R squared, for Pythagorean's theorem, R squared equals A squared plus B squared. It's R equals the square root of A squared plus B squared. Well, A and B are just half of the length of the square, half this direction and half this direction. So R equals square root of half of 69, which is 34 and a half squared plus 34 squared, which means R equals, using a calculator, 48.8 millimeters. So we're going to use this as the base of our cone. And we will use the 60 as the top of the cone. So now we go to step 4, which is draw the cone. Step 4 is to draw the cone. We're going to draw it to scale. We're using this right triangle here, right angle. We know we calculated the bottom radius to be 48.8 millimeters. You know the height is 55 millimeters. And the radius at the top is 30. Missed that a little bit, but let's try it over. 30. And when we draw a line through them, effectively we're getting our cone profile. And we can draw our cone using our compass. Get the apex of the cone up here. Come all the way down to the base. Okay, we've got that drawn. Let's do the same for the upper part of the cone. So now we know the cone's going to run along this shape. We need to get the base. We know the base is 4 times 69. So that would be 8 times half of that. So 8 times 38, and I'm sorry, 34 and a half. So what I'm going to do, it'll be clear later, but I'm actually going to lay out 10. So I'm going to extend this. Actually, I'm going to start a little bit off that. It's just pretty much random where you want to start. But I'm going to start right there. I'm going to measure 34.8. 34.5. And I know that's half of the length of the square side, each of the square sides. And I'm starting from here. I'm going to lay out 10 halves. So that's actually going to give us 5 sides. But as I mentioned, there's some method to my madness here. So now that I've marked 5 segments of 69, or actually 10 segments of 34 and a half, I am going to come in here and make the flat sides. So I made 10 segments, but I only need 4. So I'm going to cut off the first half and the last half of the segments by restarting my circle here, first 34.5 millimeter mark. So this is going to be where I connect the other side. So I'm just going to erase this a bit so I don't get confused. Come back here. And hit halfway in that middle of this last segment. So now I have my 2 endpoints. I know by looking at the parts, you have this triangular shape here. This is flat. This area is flat. All the curvature happens in between them. So I'm going to create those by making marks on the half through here. And just to make things more clear, I'm going to use a red pencil, and I am going to mark out the flat versus curved areas. And this is going to be a curved area. So the reason I did this whole thing with making the 5 segments and cutting it in half is I want it to connect on a flat plane. And you can be as precise as you need to be on this. For my project, film is pretty forgiving, so I'm going fairly quickly here. And I'm going to shade the areas again that are going to be okay. So when you cut that out, you get something that looks like this. And then this is where it connects on the flat. Just like that. Step 6 is to cut it out. But this is what it looks like cut out. I'm not going to necessarily cut this out. I hope that helps for a quick and dirty way of laying out a square to round transition.